And you know we out here every day when a nigga poop, fuck, fart, fuck, poop, fuck, fart, fuck, poop. Basically, I'm saying either way we about to poop. That's
Who
cool.
wanted the intro?
Who what?
Want to take that intro?
I got it. I'm taking it right now. The did you say make it introspective?
No, I said take the introspective.
Oh, I'm gonna make it introspective. Let's see. How do you make an introspective? So
Die.
the sort of idea of this is that it's a podcast, meaning that it's a recorded conversation between individuals for the purpose of entertainment. But it sort of causes a question to arise where what makes a difference between an entertaining and non-entertaining conversation listenably, audibly, whatever phrases you would like to throw out, anything that applies really. It's a vast question, so there's a lot of ways you can apply language to it. It's an age-old question of, if you were to record a conversation, how long could you keep it interesting enough to the point where people would want to hear that conversation that they were not a part of? And
One of my
could
favorite
you...
age-old questions.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, my favorite question too, which is why I'm so introspective about it.
I really think, and like the whole thing, the notion is it's a convenience store podcast, which means it's the ease of
Listening. And it's relatable because everyone, virtually everyone in the Western world at least, is aware of the experience of a convenience store.
Yeah, I mean, it's in the name. It's convenience store.
We deliver the experience of a convenience store. That's what it's like to listen.
Not necessarily what I'm getting at, but
the entire podcast should
we're
just be
audibly a convenience store. It's very like everyone understands it, and it's lower quality, but also it's very easy to comprehend.
Yeah,
you sacrifice the quality for ease.
Yeah,
which is definitely what this is.
The entire podcast just has like convenience store noises in the background.
Yeah,
yeah, this is what a convenience store
just like an
like.
Occasional door jingle.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, back to the part where it's kind of an age-old question. I think that's a good point because it's kind of something similar to how what came first, the chicken or the egg.
Yeah.
The question about how do you make a conversation enjoyable to listen to as a non-participant has been a question that's been around and relatable to, and is applicable to people from all time periods.
Yeah. Well, also there's literally a chicken or egg question to podcasts too. Which came first, the podcast or the listeners? You could have a podcast that just you can't hear. Like people could have been recording stuff without the intention of someone hearing it, and then suddenly people could hear and they're like, I'm listening to this. Which came first, the podcast or the listeners? Like you would think a podcast would be made for people to listen to, but maybe people gained the ability to listen so that they could hear a podcast.
That was why we evolved.
Yeah.
If a podcast is recorded in the woods with nobody around to hear it, does it make a sound?
Only if there are people that have evolved to be able to hear a podcast in the vicinity.
So that's a no.
Well, yeah, then that's a no.
Yeah, I guess the question does kind of answer itself, because you need people who have evolved to hear a podcast within a distance where they can hear something to be able to listen to it. So, yeah, I guess the
Yes.
answer to that question is no.
Well, I think it would be more revolving around whether or not something makes a sound if no one hears it. Less about the evolution of podcast listeners as a species.
Well, there's another chicken or egg question. Are we hearing the sound that is produced, or is the sound produced for us to hear? Like, are we taking in sound waves that were already there, or are the sound waves there for us to hear them?
Yo, that's crazy. Now, is this a an actual question for as like a conversation piece, or is this just a bit? Because I feel like we could, make this a thing.
I mean, hypothetically, there could be sort of a like, because there's older religions and stuff like that, and sort of like tribal beliefs and stuff, where it's sort of like things were created with a specific purpose. So I guess you could sort of get into that idea of like a hypothetical that sound waves came for us to hear something, rather than sound waves were there and we gained the ability to hear. But I mean, that's like a really hypothetical conversation.
Interesting point. Uh, yeah.
I just want to make a really, really quick point.
Yeah.
Justin?
No, Justino. No, Justin Toe. Oh, I've
What
been
are you on about, bud?
I've been wrong
Yeah, I have
recently.
no
Sorry,
idea what
Annabelle.
you're saying right now. I do not know what I'm
I just
taking
want to
away
just
from
quick
this.
shout out GooGarbLoby41 on Instagram, supplying the vibes for tonight.
Okay.
Good. Good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah.
I just want to also say
Yeah. No.
what?
Don't want to also say.
Okay.
Shut down.
You are unaware of your own desires.
Okay, but hold on, let me look something up really quick.
If a tree falls in the forest.
Bro, I forgot about that song.
That's what Devin was referring to with his question
factuals.
about.
If a tree falls in
What was the question? If a
forest,
podcast
do we
is
hear
in the
it?
forest,
Do we care?
if a podcast in the forest, do we hear? This is me when a
Do
podcast.
we care? Do we care? That's my performance for today.
That was amazing. Hold on.
Beautiful.
I'm really searching for this.
Everybody loves poopy diarrhea. He's practically raining.
He's practically Obama.
So there's still not much interesting recent news. I guess Kim Jong-un is dying.
Sick, bro.
And
Happy low-key.
yeah, and the oil industry is completely collapsing at the moment. So that's
Is
good.
it a temporary thing? I mean, I would imagine it is.
Yeah, because I mean, it's not like suddenly the oil industry collapses and then we just all have electric cars.
I don't know. I'd be pretty happy if the oil industry was like stopped.
Yeah, I know.
But like people started investing elsewhere. And
Yeah,
like,
the
kinda
problem
lost
is.
steam.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, like if this it probably wouldn't happen because I imagine there would be similar market crashes with clean sources of energy. But
Yeah,
I mean, well, maybe not though, because like oil is like I don't know.
yeah.
I feel like with oil,
It needs to be
It's like,
transported.
it needs to be. It's like, all right, we're gonna get this from the Middle East, and we're gonna bring it here, and then make energy out of it with like windmills and solar power. It's like, all right, we're gonna build this here,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Yeah. So yeah,
Yes.
green energy is definitely like better at the moment. The thing is, and it's not surprising in any way. I wasn't expecting any different, but Trump's already bailing out all the oil companies.
Yeah.
Let's go. He's not bailing out the postal service. It's like, you're so cringe, bro. You're so cringe, bro.
That's hashtag cringe.
Hashtag cringe alert. Motherfuckers posted up off the cringe.
I mean, I guess it is cringy, just not in like the internet term. More in like, oh my goodness, why is life this way?
Why did you name me this way?
Trump,
Why,
bro.
why?
Trump, bro, this is cringe.
Why?
Trump is definitely cringe.
Bro, Trump, why did you do that? That was so cringe.
Trump posts cringe all the time on his Instagram.
His posts are hashtag cringe.
Bro.
I'm not capping him. But say I'm capping. Say I'm capping.
I'm capping.
On Captain.
Why are you capping?
On Captain.
Why?
On Captain's milk. Oh, that actually brings me into what I want to say next. I was listening to the Tiny Meat Gang podcast, and they were talking about Captain's milk, so that was fun. But I do want to say that.
Thanks for the conversation.
Yeah. Real
Of course.
conversation piece.
I was debating whether or not to do the Tiny Meat Gang like intro thing where they used to do, but now they don't have delayed a week episode. Now it's just they, but whatever. I'm not gonna do the entire intro because that would be cringe. But
what are you doing?
What's about to happen?
I'm explaining to the viewers that this is actually last week's episode, and if you want to get this week's episode, that'll be on our Patreon.
Patreon that we don't have.
Yeah, in our weekly uploads, right on the nose.
So
we do upload weekly. I mean, it applies to us. Technically, this intro is compatible with our podcast.
Yeah. I just want to finish this off by saying, so thanks if you do that, and if not, enjoy this one. Peace. But I'm not actually. That's not actually a real piece because I'm still here and we're still doing this.
Yeah.
So, no, he's lying to you.
Yeah, we don't actually edit anything in because we're extremely lazy.
Yeah.
We don't really edit these, actually.
Yeah.
Believe it or not.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking out loud here, and I just realized, it's kind of crazy, guys. We've never edited an episode of this podcast.
It's pretty crazy stuff.
At the beginning, the first couple episodes, I had to bleep out stuff because there were doxes and.
I doxed a few people. I leaked my address. Wow. Making inflammatory statements about several hate groups. So I kind of put us at risk in those first years. So it's no exaggeration whatsoever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Facts. That actually did happen.
Sadly, it just happens all the time. You're talking, you're like, it just, just completely a little slip, just like absentmindedly, you're like, oh yeah, this is my address. It happens all the time.
Yeah, it's like, I'll just be, I'm just chilling, and then I'm like, 1635 Boardfish Lane, California. And then it's like, oh crap, I doxed myself. What the heck? That's so crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
That's so crazy, guys.
Hate when that happens.
I'm actually Bill Gates, and I don't know Bill Gates's address, but if I did, I would say it.
I'm actually Bill Gates, but I don't know my address. If anyone can help me figure it out, that would be very useful to me. I would
Yeah.
love to get back into my home.
I've been homeless for several weeks amidst this pandemic. Someone please dox me.
I never wrote down my address, and this is my first time leaving my home. I have no idea where to return to. Because someone please tell me what my address is, and if there's anyone that somehow knew, like any sort of codes that make the house more accessible, that would be useful too. Like I said before, this is actually my first time ever leaving the property, so I'm lost, and then I don't have any practice like entering the codes to get in, whatever, like locks, that kind of stuff. If anyone can help me out with that, that would be great.
That's indeed.
Actually, I bought the house, and then I actually had someone else buy it for me. I gave them some money. I was like, hey, buy this house for me. And then
I gotta go make a new computer. Could you buy this house for me real quick?
Yeah, and then it's just like, buy this house, give me the details later, but obviously I don't want anyone knowing where I live, so get rid of the real estate agent's contact information once you're done, and don't tell anybody. And then shortly after, he got rid of all evidence of his activities. He was run over by a car, and now I have no way of knowing what house I have. It was actually, the house was on a cliff, I'm pretty sure. But
it's very sad. He was just being a good friend, like looking out the area and stuff, taking in all the beautiful sights that are in the neighborhood, and he didn't realize the house was right on a cliff. He just
I got the police report. The funny thing is, like the police report, it came out, but obviously since I wanted my privacy, I had the house bought in a way where it's not public information where it is. So they couldn't actually say where the death happened because it was classified. So that was the whole situation. Then I just had to buy another house, start over the process.
Yeah. That's our Bill Gates lore. This is the Bill Gates podcast.
We are all collectively Bill Gates.
We are Bill Gates. Imagine a Microsoft ad, and there's 3 people, and they're like, "Hello, we're Bill Gates.
We are Bill Gates."
He's just at a convention, and he just splits into 3 people. And then
that would be hilarious if it was like movie style clones, like they have like dull eyes and stuff, and they just say in unison, they're like, "We are Bill Gates."
I don't know. I would be that'd just be one of those like I don't know, like it's not really in tune with, like, I don't know, the people, but it's just like a little bit too much of like, it's like an ad that you wouldn't really expect, because it seems like a normal person came up with it who was just not like working for corporate interest, but just trying to make a funny ad.
Yeah.
Or a weird ad. So when a big business does it, it just seems like kind of scary. It's like, you're not quite on the mark there, but
We are Bill Gates.
We are nosotros somos Bill Gates.
Nosotros Bill Gates. Oh,
It's like Power Rangers when we combine and turn
Stop,
into
Tom.
a large Bill
there's
Gates.
like 6 dudes that combine to make Bill Gates.
Yeah. Well, there's like 3 girls and 3 dudes.
Because
they're all like-
equality.
Like hot teenagers. Hot high school kids.
And they combine to make Bill Gates.
Billiam Gates.
He's like all their ages added up.
They get like you know how the Power Rangers they can morph into like different. They each have their own
Yeah.
sword or whatever, and then they can like I'm gonna put the lion and the Pink Panther together, and then these guys are gonna put the eel and the cum sock together, and then it's like instead of one giant Megazord, there's like 2 little half ones. So it's like that.
Yeah.
It could be like young Bill Gates, teenage Bill Gates, or like old Bill Gates.
Their ages just add up and all they will combine. So like 2 of them, it doesn't really matter. He's like maybe 35, like maybe, and then when they're all together, he's like old as hell. They're just slow. Like it's a pain when they all need to combine. And like we really need to all group up. It's about to be a long day.
We have a meeting to go to. We need to look respectable.
We need to look old.
We can't let anyone know that we're not actually the same person. Bill
Right,
Gates isn't even real. It's just 5 teenagers.
But that's actually so hilarious to me to think about, though. Like, that's what I burst out laughing about earlier, where I was just thinking, like, it's these teenagers that are like superheroes, and when they all combine, they're just an old man. Like, they literally get lamer the more they combine.
Yeah. That's the vibes for
Bill
today.
Gates.
New
Assemble.
New intern walks in on Bill Gates
posted up
transforming.
tournament. Me and the homies just post up and become Bill Gates some days.
Facts.
New intern walks in on the teenagers turning into Bill Gates, and it's just like,
He kills himself.
yeah.
Oh my god. That's what's necessary in this situation. If
Well,
they
it's
all
like,
get
they're
caught
just
turning
like-
into Bill Gates, they can't get rid of the witness. They have to get rid of themselves.
No, the witness kills himself because he's like horrified, and then they're also like, yeah.
What if the
after what you've just seen,
yeah.
you even like you can't tell anybody about this, and do you even want to be alive anymore after that?
Yeah.
then
After
they're just
seeing
like-
Bill Gates come together,
Yeah, the transformation is just horrific. It's just
they all just age.
yeah, but
No, but
it's like
they age while becoming one person. So
yeah, and it's extremely painful for them. They're just like screaming the entire
Oh
time.
my god. They're in agony.
yeah, it's like it looks like some sort of like the thing while they're morphing is like, oh my god, what have I just witnessed?
They have to develop arthritis like as they go through the process.
You just see like their veins becoming more thin and shit.
Man, that I really hope I never see Bill Gates assemble.
Bill Gates, assemble.
It's just such like a polar opposite of the actual Power Rangers show. Just like it's just so humorous. Like they just all come together. They're like Bill Gates, assemble, and then they just scream in agonizing pain and become an old man.
Yeah, it's not even, it's like instead of it being cool, it's just like
It's
horrifying.
like it's yeah, and not in like a horror movie kind of way where it's entertaining. It's it's like it makes you really uneasy in your stomach. It's like you would pay anything to be able to unsee that.
That's what I like to
It's
hear.
just gut wrenching.
What a fun topic.
Yeah.
I mean, at least it's interesting. We've definitely developed an interesting concept.
Yeah.
Yes. We should make this we should make a screenplay.
Guys, this should be a thing. That would be an interesting screenplay. I wonder how you'd
who
act
wanna
out
invent
people
this?
morphing together into one person. Because if it's a screenplay, there's no CGI or anything.
Yeah.
Like it's live.
It's just screaming. People like running into each other screaming.
Yeah, they're like, well, then they're like trying to escape the whole time. They're morphing into each other.
That would be such a weird screenplay. Imagine going to see a live performance and there's a bunch of kids that come up and they're like, Bill Gates, assemble! And they just like intertwine and then scream at you.
There's like strobe lights. So it's like kind of, you can't really tell, but you just see figures like running away from the center of the stage, but being sucked in and like screaming with like blood everywhere.
And then an old man comes out.
Yeah, and then there's just like darkness for a second, and then an old man comes out.
It's like, hi, I'm Bill Gates.
Yeah, he just presents a new product.
Yeah. or
like, what's up,
like
guys?
what he's been
What's
doing
up, guys?
recently, he comes on like CNN or MSNBC or whatever. He's like giving coronavirus updates and stuff because he knows a lot about epidemics for some reason. Well, that's actually a thing. He's been giving out a lot of information about the coronavirus and the pandemic and stuff on like CNN and all these things. It's really weird to me. Like, I remember that was a thing before anyone even knew what the coronavirus was. Like, literally years ago, he was talking about pandemics and predictions and all this stuff. It's like, why does Bill Gates know so much about global pandemics? Like,
I guess
you make
he's
computers.
smart.
Yeah.
He's literally just a professional smart guy now. He comes on, he's like, so yeah, this is the science that's happening
smart,
right now.
By the way, if you didn't notice, I'm kind of smart guy.
Like I feel like that's literally what's going on. They couldn't get like a really crazy high up doctor because obviously he's slaving away trying to make things right, and they couldn't like talk to someone working on a vaccine because they're slaving away too. They're just like, yeah, we can't get. Can we get Steve Jobs? No, he's dead. Tim Cook, he's busy. Okay, Bill Gates, talk to us about the coronavirus. You're a smart guy.
Bill Gates is just like,
he's been giving out a lot of information. That's why I said, like, it's not like there's anything wrong with informing the public and giving them good information, but it's just weird. Like, he's a tech genius, and he's here, like, informing news channels on a global pandemic. Why do you know so much about this?
Yeah.
It's really weird.
He created it, actually.
He created the coronavirus to promote his global pandemic updating skills.
Yeah.
Like, so he could finally flex his public speaking on pandemics on live broadcasting.
Yeah.
Yo, what if we make a virus? Then I can talk about this, and people will be like, "Oh, that guy's very smart. It's genius."
I have a PhD being smart. I must use it. I have to
PhD in
exercise
being
I
my
must
smart.
use it to
abilities.
make the world a better place. But the world's doing good enough right now. I need to make it worse so I can make it better.
the world
It wasn't even doing good enough. It was
Yeah,
doing pretty
like all
shitty
this
before all this.
unmoderated capitalism and war and starving children in Africa, like famine, all these things. He's like, it could be worse.
I need something a little bit more challenging.
I need something that's gonna get everyone's attention at once. Like these kids in Africa have been starving for a while.
Yeah, it's
They've
like I need
already been
something.
starving. I can't starve African children that are already starving.
I need something that these people they can't just pretend to care about. They'll have to actually care. So I'm gonna start a global pandemic.
I mean, that's the logical course of action.
The logical conclusion, I would say.
Well, I like to think, just like speaking on starving African children, and how you said like people pretend to care. Imagine if he just reversed it on everyone. He's actually like, okay, I'm developing new ways to feed people. I'm developing new food right now, and so I'm
New
gonna need to
food.
starve the Western world so that they can really appreciate the food production that I'm responsible for.
It won't work unless everybody's starving.
Everybody needs to weigh like 10 pounds.
And
It needs
I
to be just
definitely
bones and skin.
and he would do it on like starving populations, but he's really racist, so he needs young white people.
Well,
'Cause he
also
doesn't
they
want to
don't
help.
have any money. That's why they're starving right now.
No,
Like, they're
but like
impressive to have no
he
money.
would do it for free. He doesn't even care. He's got enough money, but like he doesn't.
He's just violently racist.
Yeah. You know. You know.
Yeah.
You know.
You know the vibes.
You know the vibes. This
Me and
Bill
the boys.
Gates lore.
Me and the boys when we are racist.
It is really sad to think though that 5 people can come together and they still don't have enough sympathy to where they would just feed the starving children in Africa. They need to starve the Western world to really be appreciated how much they want to be.
Ah, yes. It could happen. This isn't a bit or anything. This is the explanation of the world as it is right now.
Because we're all starving right now.
Yeah, because we're
As you
African,
can tell.
actually.
That's why we're unfazed by it.
We're used to it.
We're sort of
We're
familiar
like, finally,
with the concept.
these Western idiots are getting what they deserve.
They can understand. Who can
They
relate?
can understand us. My people are starving. Who can relate?
Who can relate? That's such an awful ad lib. I love that so much. It's like,
By the way,
I want to kill myself.
I was not trying to do an accent
relate.
right there. I know it sounded like it. I was just trying to do like a shaky crying voice because, Logic is like, he's like, he's depression. Who can relate? You know what I'm saying?
Also, it's still so weird to me. Like, I don't know. I don't ever want to take away from like pride empowerment and stuff like that, because the video there's like 2 boyfriends, right? Like, there was sort of a statement where it's like the dad is ashamed of his son for being gay and whatever, and it's like that was good. That's not a problem, but it's still weird to me because he throws in lyrics like, who can relate? Like, it's just weird to me, like this straight dude that seems always really uppity. He's like, oh man, when your dad is ashamed of you for being gay and you have depression and you're suicidal, like, who can relate, man? It really sucks.
I mean, it was a pretty good music video, but I feel like it kind of got like lost impact because Logic made it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's just
And
associated with like sixth graders.
but also it's just weird, like, again, you don't have to be in a group to support them or anything like that. It's just weird to me that he literally uses Who Can Relate as an ad lib and all this stuff. He's like, and he's not really suicidal or gay. He's like, oh man, who can relate to this statement? Am I right?
This is
You
me
said,
when I listen to Logic song and I become gay, depressed, suicidal. My parents become homophobic, and my school starts bullying me. I didn't even like do it. They just figured it out. They're like, "Yo, he gotta be. He just is some different."
He can relate.
Like they're not even like, "Oh, you're gay." Like like I didn't even choose. Like it's never been It's never been like something that I've experienced, but about all of a sudden, it's just like, yo,
There's a shift.
God actually came to my dream. I'm not even religious. He was like, yo, ass gay. And I was like, all right, that's not a problem. That's not something to be worried about. But then I wake up. He's like, oh yeah, I forgot to tell you. Your parents in school are now violently homophobic, and they all know. And I was like, why you do me like that? That's just what happened.
Yeah, you can relate.
I can relate. I tried to sue Logic and for my life. I sued him for damages.
Responsibility of relatability.
yo,
That's
bars.
That's
that's
a
actually
logic
crazy.
bar.
Responsibility of relatability.
Eminem can rap anything like that.
I feel like that's something E40 would post on Instagram. He's like, y'all don't understand the responsibility of relatability.
Cuba the Florius.
only amazing people can relate to E40. That's still gotta
Wasn't
be.
it something even like
I think it was
cornier? Wasn't it like,
incredible,
yeah, incredible?
and it's Albert Einstein. I love when Albert Einstein can relate to E40. It's not even the other way around where E40's
It's like
like,
E40 good.
yes, I could relate to Albert Einstein and his genius. It's like Albert Einstein is used. It's not that Albert Einstein is used relatively in comparison, like to E40 status. Like E40 is the comparison to Einstein. It's like, yeah, Einstein could relate to E40. He was like almost on his.
Yeah, Einstein was pretty smart. He probably could relate to E40.
Yeah, he's like up there. He can
Yeah, he
probably
might be. He
understand
might. I
E40's
mean,
uses.
he might have some questions. Yeah, but like he would generally get the idea because he's
Yeah,
a little bit close to.
yeah, he's pretty incredible.
Yeah, but not really like incredible. Just a little bit like where he can probably like be like, yo, like he can listen to an E40 song and then like he won't really understand it, but there's like a couple lines where he's like, yo, that's resonating with me.
Yeah, that really resonated with me.
The other, like, he probably won't even know what's going on.
Yeah, like Albert Einstein could, like, the line when E40 said, "I'm incredible." Who can relate? Like, that really resonated with Albert Einstein.
Yeah, that's because like it's one of the more simple ones. So someone on a level like Albert Einstein,
They can relate.
it's like they can relate because E40 kind of toned it down to help those guys out.
Yeah. I love that post so much, man. I honestly like, even though it's obviously hilarious to picture him making it himself, I honestly don't know if it's funnier to picture him making it or like some fan made that and he saw it and he's like, "Oh my goodness. Now this is something I can appreciate. I got to repost that." Like
Let's fucking
Albert
go.
Einstein, just only incredible people can relate to E40. I love that so much. Like, it's not blasphemous enough to say E40 could relate to Einstein. It's like, yeah, Einstein can definitely relate to E40's hustle. You know, he understands.
That's just the type of level he's on, bro.
Yeah, Einstein 40. You know, E40
Can't
was his
relate.
biggest inspiration.
E40 stands for Einstein 40.
Y'all ever heard of
E
equals MC
the
squared?
E stands for Einstein.
Yeah. I know y'all heard of that E equals MC squared joint. What do you think that's a reference to, huh? E40.
E equals 40.
E40.
I think my favorite thing about E40 though, like I don't know why it's just so fun to sort of laugh at his like kind of ridiculous presence in the rap scene, but it's underappreciated that his nickname is 40 Water and he has a chain that says 40 Water that's FORTY. It's 40 water. It's water that's similar to a fort. 40 water.
Fort water.
Fort like water.
I'm not gonna lie. I am kind of confused.
40 water. It's
Is that-
amazing.
What is the proper spelling of the number 40?
With the U.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm
Yeah,
doing something
it's
else. I'm a little bit distracted.
40 is
We'll go with that.
40. The number is FOURTY, and this is FORTY.
Fort like water.
Yeah, it's water that's similar to a fort.
My water like a fort. Sturdy.
My water got a body
Fortnite.
like Albert. What up, dog? I'm Albert.
What
It's
up, dog?
still
My name's
also-
Albert.
That's like unrelated, but it's still also funny to me that a fortnight is a term that like goes back to medieval ages. Like, yeah, I think even there's like a Shakespeare writing where a dude's like, "I'll be back in a fortnight," and it just sounds so weird now.
Ain't you heard of what's it? Ain't you heard of ain't you heard of what's it called? The
Well
the
said.
Dark Knight skin? Or no, what's it? The
The Dark Knight skin. The Dark Light
what's
skin.
that skin in Fortnite? Black Knight. Yeah. Yeah. Ain't you heard of the Black Knight? That's medieval as fuck.
Bro, that's
I prefer a
racist.
fortnight.
Is that even what it's called?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
not
it's
sure.
like it's in some Shakespeare writing or
I
something.
was talking about
It's
the
like,
Fortnite skin, you imbecile.
oh,
Yeah, no, I know what a Fortnite is. I'm an intellectual. I'm smart. I know that.
I use the term fortnight. Imagine someone saying that, like, yeah, I'll be back in a fortnight or two.
Yeah, I'll come in the Fortnite.
Yo, speaking of Fortnite, there's a Travis Scott skin, and then I'm pretty sure there's a Travis Scott. There's like a whole Travis Scott pack in Fortnite now.
In his description, they said he's a lo-fi rapper. You can't make that up.
What?
They called him a lo-fi rapper.
Fortnite. Well, the
Not
funny
only
thing is,
did-
like, I'm sure there's a good chunk of like kids, like that the Fortnite community is highly little children. There's nothing wrong with that. but like I'm sure a lot of them listen to like Travis Scott and like
that's what's so weird to me. Like first, it's strange that a game where most of the kids are like really young, and then most of the other demographic is like under 25, really, and they felt the need to explain who Travis Scott is and what he does, and they couldn't even get it right. Like they partnered with Travis Scott just to say he's a lo-fi rapper.
I mean, I'm sure they give us like hella money for that. So
yeah, and the
if I was
emote,
Travis Scott, I'd just be like, all right, whatever.
the emote, the emote is that rage picture of him where he's like has the microphone stand above his head. He's like, and he's like,
Yeah, that's I've seen that like picture of him as a Fortnite skin like a million times since like a year ago.
Yeah.
Like
I don't know if it leaked somehow.
But
like,
I feel like it
definitely
wouldn't have
seen it
been a
before.
leak because it was they've been like working on this partnership for like over a year, and Travis Scott's like, all right, finally the details are right. We can go through with this. Or his label was like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like, if that did happen, I imagine he wouldn't be described as a lo-fi rapper because like no one identifies him as that mostly. Except for now, like, I don't know.
Now all the people that know him by his Fortnite intro.
Or even if they don't, but like I'm just the kids that have been playing Fortnite and listening to Travis Scott, I'm sure they'll be like, yeah, that's what I'm going to call him now. They'd be like, at the
they don't
family
know what lo-fi
function,
means.
Yeah, at the family function, they're like, who do you like to listen to? I like to listen to lo-fi rap. Do you know Travis Scott? Do you know Drake? I think he's also lo-fi, probably.
Yeah, him and Travis, they work together a lot, so I guess he must be lo-fi too.
Yeah.
It's so funny to me that like lo-fi isn't a term where there's like some sort of you're cool for saying it, like a sort of pretentious guy idea. Like lo-fi is just lo-fi. It's really weird to me. It's become a term, I guess I'd say almost of desire. Like people keep wanting saying like something is lo-fi. Now everyone's saying Igor was lo-fi, and all the people that know what lo-fi means, no, it is not.
Yeah.
It's like the new type of, this is indie as fuck, bro. This is lo-fi as fuck.
That's the best way to put it. It's literally like how people would be like, yo, this is so indie. I listen to
underground.
indie. I like Mac DeMarco and Tame and Paula.
Tame and Paula.
Tammy and Paula.
Tim and Paula. The goats of the generation.
The indie goats.
And Paula, they the greatest to ever live.
The best around. And I
love that. That's my favorite Tame Impala song. It really went hard with that one.
Yeah.
For real. It's so lo-fi and indie. It's lo-fi and indie and indie-fi and lonely.
Tim Impala went hard with the Pokemon theme song.
The poop.
That bitch is
the
fat.
fart.
That bitch is going crazy on that hoe.
They went crazy with this one.
They crazy with that one. Anyway,
has it been an hour?
It's been almost an hour.
Started.
Yeah, it's like 5 minutes.
38 right now.
Yeah, we started around. Let me go around.
Yeah, we can just check the group
it's
chat.
Been like 50 minutes or something.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been like 10 more minutes.
Yeah, we started at about like sometime after 8:45. So
Yeah, I would say it's more around 8 or 9:50 that we end because like we took a
yeah,
little bit to get going.
Yeah.
But yeah,
no.
okay. What have been the memes recently? It's been Yankee with no brim,
Whoa, Yankee with no brim.
and then CEO of Swag. That's been around a
Oh yeah,
little bit, but like,
that's
Also, the
kind
thing
of falling
on
off.
TikTok where it's like nobody wanna see us together, like
but it
one
don't
thing kissing
matter.
another thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's memes at this point have like, I mean, they're so short lifespans. Like memes have lasted like less than 2 weeks, and it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, and then if it's a really good meme, like something that's fun and very applicable, like Yankee with no brim, it gets like an ironic resurgence, like literally as it's
Yeah,
starting to fade off.
yeah,
yeah,
and then also there's just like it. I don't know. I think TikTok has, if you use TikTok, it's kind of stopped being like a thing that people really, repost as much. I feel like in like
Mm-hmm.
2018 and 19, people, there'd be meme accounts where they just like would post a good amount of their content where it's just uh TikTok reposts.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
now that's not happened. But on TikTok, uh, there's a lot of like modifications of the Yankee with no brim,
yeah.
yeah,
like burger with no bun.
yeah,
Burger with no bun.
yeah. I don't know. I like I've said, I really don't use TikTok much. I think my average on the app, according to the screen time thing, is like 30 minutes per day. But I know what you're talking about. It's sort of
Mm-hmm.
a weird environment. It's kind of like everything is sort of recycled until it gets too stale and there isn't any fun to it anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But it is, that's not like a
You know the
hateful
vibes.
statement, though. Like everything is fun while it lasts, which is nice.
Uh huh. That's appreciable.
Yeah.
I do be appreciating when things are fun while they last. I'm lying. I
Definitely.
prefer when they're very unenjoyable and they not even like they last a long time, but they're unenjoyable.
I I love when things just suck for as
For
long as
long
possible.
periods of time, I
I
love
love everyone to just be in a long period of suffering.
misery. I be in Missouri.
The squad in Missouri be chilling.
We straight posting in Missouri.
yo.
Posted up in Missouri. We going crazy.
We go stupid in
We go
Missouri.
stupid in Missouri.
Missouri. Well, isn't. Oh no, like, they don't even have East St. Louis. Because East St. Louis is like one of the most dangerous parts of America. But that's like on the edge of St. Louis, which is actually in Illinois.
Yes.
I
Actually, I
don't
moved
know.
it last weekend, so it's just saying. Just saying, you might want to consider what you say before you say it next time. Check your
You
sources,
moved
kid.
over the town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, all right. I
Oh,
think this
bro, I wish.
conversation piece has died severely.
Yes.
I was gonna say something, but then I forgot what I was
It
gonna
has
say.
yanked with no brim. Whoa. My mom. My mom.
Whoa!
The muscle man,
Yankee
my mom thing is kind of having a slight resurgence.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of true.
Have y'all been hearing that or seeing the memes where it's like Shadow or not Shadow Knuckles and he's like meme and he stamps and he's like approved and then it's like congratulations, your meme has been approved.
No, I haven't seen that. I'm gonna lie.
Funny new meme on the rise, come on the come up, meme on the come up.
Come on the meme up.
Yo,
Coming on this meme. Me and the
That's
boys
facts.
stay coming on a meme hose. I don't have any further input here.
This convo go crazy.
bro, it's
I'm
so. There's nothing happening because of coronavirus.
Because of that
Coronavirus. Coronavirus.
Corn virus.
Bitch got that corn.
We
I'm riding
managed-
with that corner.
We managed to keep a couple conversations going for a good amount of time.
Yeah, we were
For
doing
like
it, but
so long.
and then we fell off entirely.
Her career fell off.
Just like Cardi B. Cardi B did fall off music, like musical relevance wise.
Yeah.
Like she's still memed on, but that's it. That's about it. But
Yeah.
Who's really like? I don't understand how. I mean, whatever. I don't like. I haven't heard anything from Cardi B in a while. Like, does she have any like new releases? Like,
I don't think so. I mean, I'm not sure. I can't lie. I don't keep up, but I don't think so.
She just
You can
she
lie.
lost relevance, and so it was like, all right, I'm done then.
Goodbye. My favorite thing from Cardi B is that clip where she's like, "Some of y'all think I'm retarded, and to be honest with you, I am. I really am." Just enjoy that.
Yeah.
To be honest with
it's
you,
such a
yes.
weird, like, she just has such a weird presence in pop culture. It's so bizarre.
Yeah.
I've never met someone, like, honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I've met a lot of people that are like, "Oh, this song came on, and it's like insert Cardi B song title," and they're like, "Oh, this is a banger." But I've never met someone that's like, "Oh, I love Cardi B." Like, there are definitely people that love some of her like hits and appreciate a song or something, but no one. I've never heard anyone say anything along the lines of, "Oh yeah, I love Cardi B so much." Like, no one appreciates her as a whole that I've ever met. It's just like some people like a song by her or a few songs by her a lot, which is even weirder because, like, you'd think, either everyone would be like, "Oh yeah, this song is okay, I don't mind it," but there's like tons of people that love a few specific songs by her, but no one's ever been like, "Oh yeah, I'm a huge Cardi B fan."
Y'all hear that new Cardi? Yeah, I loved Invasion of Privacy. Is that her last drop? That shit was like 2 years ago.
Yeah, I know. It's really weird. Like, what is she doing?
I bet there's like 3 albums out.
I wouldn't be
The
surprised.
Cardi B coronavirus list. She had a single. That's it. That's it. She
Since
released
Invasion of
Privacy 2018, then one single with like 3 features, and it's a remix of South of the Border. No, it's not. It's a remix of one of her songs. It's not her song, but she's credited because it's a remix. So she hasn't dropped in like 2 years.
Right.
Oh my god.
Never forget when Invasion of Privacy won a Grammy over Daytona, and I don't even remember what else was nominated, but Daytona was the best of the list. Oh, also Astroworld. Like,
Yeah.
at least with Astroworld, it's like a good album. If it was given the award over Daytona, I'd be like, whatever. They're appeasing, the largest demographic. But they gave it to Cardi B. Like,
All that like
it
fake
honestly,
woke, like, oh, we're giving this
yeah.
person this award stuff is so irritating because the actual awards, they all like, it's such a crappy system.
Yeah,
And
it's
they all
honestly so bad. Like, it's not even like, obviously there are like white dudes that are like, oh my goodness, how could they give it to woman or minority or something? Like, there is prejudice, but like everything aside, it's not like sexism or racism or bigotry in any way. It's like
terrible.
sometimes a man has a better album than said woman, and it's like if you're sacrificing his winning of the award to be like, oh yes, we're giving award to woman, it literally devalues your award. Like, it's so beyond me. And it hurts their reputation. People don't pay much attention to the Grammys anymore. Like, literally not even half a decade ago, like just short of 5 years, it was a flex to say you had a Grammy. Drake and Kanye, some of the biggest egos in the scene, they would be like, oh yeah, look at all these Grammys. Now nobody really flexes their Grammy because people don't value the Grammys because they understand that they want to be like, oh yes, this is a woman winning the award. Look, guys, it's a woman. This woman just won. And it's like nobody values your opinion now. It's literally just hurt their own reputation.
Mm-hmm. And it's like, oh yeah, you gave a woman the award, and then you gave Igor hip hop. So
urban.
Yeah, so it's like, oh, great. So now you just prove more. Like literally, it the fact that they gave Cardi B the award emphasizes how like the Academy Awards are kind of like prejudiced because it's like you like, I'm not saying like, oh, men are oppressed because Cardi B. like the issue isn't even giving Cardi B the award. Is like, see, they won't give men awards anymore. But it's like, okay, at this point, we don't really have conclusive evidence, but it's pretty obvious that you're just trying to please women, which is kind of like, that's kind of sexist towards women.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, we don't actually care about your music, so we'll just give this person
exactly.
and you can go shut up. And then they give Igor Urban, and it's like, now we know you don't care.
Yeah, exactly. Like
way.
Even Tyler himself acknowledged at the ceremonies, like, this award means a lot to me, but I'm a little bit saddened by the fact they gave me urban rather than R&B or pop or something.
Yeah.
And
for
also,
real,
it's like what you said about how it's sort of sexist when they are just like, okay, here you go, Cardi B. Like, that's such a good point too. People never really think about how ridiculous it is. Like, they almost showed their prejudice more clearly by when, like, any award show, even like the Oscars and stuff, the Academy sort of showed their prejudice more clearly when they do award like women or minorities. They're like, okay, you get Black Panther. Black people, leave us alone now.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
it's
that
so ridiculous. And then in
like I
last year,
don't
it's like,
care that
okay, you have crazy rich Asians, or I mean, not rich people, Asian people, leave us alone now.
yeah, it's like I don't care that I feel like there's a lot of misplaced like uh or there's not enough like anger about Cardi B. Most of it is like, oh, they should have gave it to these male artists. Wow, I can't believe we live in this snowflake society where men aren't allowed to have awards. It's like, shut up. That's not really important. That's not like a
Yeah.
struggle that is, it's not
Yeah.
like men are suffering because of this. But they'd be more
Hmm.
like, wow, they don't respect our music. They're just trying to get us to shut up
Yeah,
by
Mhm.
giving any
exactly.
crappy thing we make an award.
Yeah, it's just so, and that's the thing that really bothered me about Black Panther. Not that Black Panther itself is a problem or that it's an awful film or anything. I don't have a problem with the movie, but like the premise of it, it really doesn't sit right with me. They're like, okay, they're saying we should have more black people in Hollywood and they should have more significant roles and we should have more black heroes. So here's a movie that's all black people. And now we're going to make more white films.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
I mean, I
also,
think Black Panther
I mean,
was enjoyable. The CGI sucked, but
yeah, at the end especially. Yeah,
yeah, that fight was really unenjoyable to
it
watch.
just looks like a video game.
It always bothers me when Marvel CGI sucks because it's like, you did this for what? You have the most money ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then, yeah. Back to the point. Like, I think it's cool that they did a superhero movie in Africa with a
Hmm.
majority like black cast. I think that's great. Like, that's
Yeah.
a nice, like, it's good to have that kind of stuff where there's like less Western focused superheroes,
Hmm.
but it's also kind of like, uh, bruh, you don't, you just be doing this for them damn diversity points, bro.
Yeah. And also it's
Yes.
like they don't value the diversity points. It's
Yeah.
more to sort of just like shake off flack. Like that's what really bothered me is like, like you said, and I totally agree, it's really important and cool that they would do a film where, it's like African characters and stuff and there's like the idea of Wakanda, and that's always been a cool concept that really went mostly untouched up until now. But also, they're like, okay, they want black movie here. Everyone is from Africa and it's African, and now we're gonna make more white films. Like, if the movie was just made, and then they wanted way more stuff with Chadwick Boseman, except like besides just his trendiness in the movie scene, like, I mean, not seen as in a movie, but like sort of the pop
Yeah, yeah.
culture around movies. Like, if they wanted more from him, like besides just to like pop him in Endgame and be like, look, Black Panther, Black Panther, that would be cool. But honestly, the fact that like they use Wakanda and stuff, and it's all these African things, is almost worse since they're clearly not making any more films that aren't Western based, because they're like, okay, they want representation for black people. Here's Africa. Now we're done. It's
Yeah.
like there's nothing wrong with having an African superhero. It's definitely a good thing. And it's better than nothing for sure, but it's just kind of like almost sort of ridiculously offensive when you really think about it. They're saying we should do more good representation of black people and have more black actors. So I think what we need to do is film a movie in Africa. Like, it's
Yeah.
so bad. I mean, not the movie. Like, again, just the idea of where they're like, okay, people are fed up with racism and systemic racism and prejudice and all this. So let's go film a movie in Africa, and then we'll make more white people movies. Like, cuz again, they just dropped it there. It's cool they made a movie about African characters, it's better that than nothing. But it's just so ridiculous that they had this pressure to give more important roles to black people. So they're like, okay, let's just throw an insane amount of black people into one movie, film it in Africa, make African characters, and then we're done. Like, they don't care anymore about all those black actors now. They're like, okay, Chadwick Boseman, you can come back for Endgame. So everyone's like, there's Black Panther and Wakanda and stuff. And then it's like, we're done.
Yeah.
Goodbye, Chadwick.
Yeah,
It's time we
exactly. They're just
depart.
like, it's all done now. You got your Black Panther movie and Black Panther in Endgame. You got to see Wakanda in Endgame. Wakanda came in and saved the day. Now, black people, leave us alone.
Get out of here.
And like Crazy Rich
Next, they're gonna
Asians
have
too. They're just
Asian
like,
Panther.
but that's sort of the same deal. It's like, you know, they're like, okay, they're saying we should have more Asian representation. Here's an all Asian movie, and then we're back to white people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, they never address the actual problems.
Like, you did this for what? For money and good PR. Like, that's worthless to me.
And it's like
Joe
again,
Biden picking a progressive VP.
Yeah. And again,
Like,
it's like
Black Panther.
Black Panther is good. Crazy Rich Asians is good. Like, I don't have a problem with the movies. It's just the idea behind them really irks me because it's so racist.
Yeah.
It's like they genuinely rather bring on people that they're racially prejudiced towards to just crank out a movie than actually just like treat them with respect on past the production of one movie. Like, they'd rather bring on hundreds of Asian people into Hollywood at once for one big thing than just like treat Asian people with respect for the rest of their lives. Treat black people with respect for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, it's like the problem wasn't that there wasn't enough movies that are entirely black. The problem was that there's not enough, like, it's the total presence in the mainstream film industry, not one movie with 1 million people of one race.
And that's the problem too. Is like, you know, again, like, I don't have anything against Black Panther. It was a good movie. It was fun. Like, it served its purpose. It was enjoyable, and it's better than nothing for sure. But it's just that, like, you know, it makes sense for Black Panther that everyone would be black since he is in Africa and stuff. But outside of that, you know, if there's another push to make a movie that gives better representation to black people, there's not a question. It's going to be like an all black cast. And that's not diversity either.
Yeah.
Like, people don't realize, you know, it's like, I'm not giving the idea like that white people are oppressed or anything like that. Like, it's not an issue where I think white people are becoming oppressed or anything like that. It's just purely, you know, by the definition of diversity, a group of all black people is equally non-diverse to a group of all white people.
Yeah.
It's just so ridiculous.
It's bueno.
Right. It's been a while. I feel like this is a good ending point.
Yeah, we're kind of done with this topic. I see you tomorrow. We actually went a little bit long, but that's totally fine by me.
Yeah, same.
I mean, it's not like... Bye.